Hi, ladies. Welcome to 5 Minutes with Pastor Lucy. I have a Thanksgiving gift for you. Guess what? It's the gift of hindsight. Now, hindsight is the understanding of a situation or an event, usually after it's taken place. So, for instance, in hindsight, I should have never gone to that party. Or in hindsight, I should have never taken that job offer. What it does is it opens up a window of clarity that usually isn't accessible to us in real time, right? So when we're in the moment, when you're going through that difficulty, right? Whatever it is, that mess that we're in, usually we can't see a window. There's no window. Everything just kind of seems dark and gloomy at the time. But the gift of hindsight gives us a sense of meaning and redemption. It's to past disappointments and difficulties. So hindsight actually affirms the promise of Romans 8:28 that all things truly do work together for the good, for your good and my good, no matter how bad it's going right now. Have you ever been through something really bad? And then you kind of find out it really wasn't that bad after all, or maybe you actually see some good that came out of it. So I'll give you an example. I had a miscarriage years ago. My first pregnancy ended in a miscarriage. It was one of the lowest times of my life. And I was devastated. I was brokenhearted. And the aftermath, the emotional aftermath was a lot for me. But in hindsight, it was because of the miscarriage that they were able to find out that I had an ovarian dermoid cyst that was a type of tumor, and it was the size of a grapefruit that needed surgery. So had they never found out, then it could have ruptured inside of me. It could have pressed against my spinal cord. It could have been worse. So what's worse than a miscarriage? Not being here to tell you that in hindsight, all things work together for our good. And you know what else? In hindsight, God's given me this understanding and compassion for those who've had to suffer through a miscarriage as well, or multiple miscarriages. I've also learned what not to say to someone who's grieving. So the gift of hindsight, it gives us an appreciation for everything that we have endured in life, the good and the bad. So for this Thanksgiving season that we're in, I have an action step for you. It's an action step to help you with the gift of hindsight. And so you might need to pause this so that you can get a piece of paper and a pen as well, or you can come back to it. Now in my coaching sessions, oftentimes I use this activity, and it's called a life map. And so what you're going to need is a piece of paper, and you're going to take that piece of paper and you're going to draw a line, right, from the left to the right, and what you're going to do is point A to point B. Point A is going to be your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday, right? The day that you came into this world. Point B may be on the same side. You might need the back side. You might need several pieces of paper, which is totally fine. But point A, you start with your birthday. Point B is where you're at today in life. And what you're going to do is you're going to map the high points of your life. The high points. The high points are your mountaintop experiences. These are the things that you're proud of. These are your achievements, big and small, right? From childhood until today. And you want to try to do it in a chronological order. But you're also going to map out your low points. The low points are your valleys. These are the dark points in your life. So what are some of those events that took place that you probably don't like to talk about? Maybe it was the death of a loved one. Maybe it was a traumatic experience. Maybe you broke your leg, or whatever the case may be. But this activity is not meant for you to do right away, right? Take your time. Give it thought. Give it time. And then after you sit down and you've got everything on paper and you're looking at it, in hindsight, what did you learn from each experience? What did God show you? Or maybe God is showing you now. How do you see the goodness of God during your mountaintop experiences and during your valley seasons of your life as well? So this Thanksgiving, thank God for the gift of hindsight. Every experience, every challenge, every setback, every victory was absolutely for your good. And if you don't see it, it's okay. Ask Him to help you see it. Ask the good Lord, how do I open this gift of hindsight? So I hope you enjoy this gift, enjoy your Thanksgiving, and I pray that God reveals new things to you. Happy Thanksgiving, ladies.